This is Saturday Morning Mysteries.
And we're your hosts, Alexis and Grace.
Hello, good morning, and welcome back to another episode, a holiday episode of Saturday
Not Thanksgiving?
Morning Mysteries. Not Thanksgiving. Alexis, get over it.
No, it's still Thanksgiving in my heart and mind and soul.
That's true. Because we're so grateful for all of you being here.
Anyways.
And because it's the best holiday. We're continuing our holiday, Christmas, wintertime arc. Alexis will be taking the lead today and telling me I don't exactly know what. So I don't think we have any other business to do. So I'll just pass it to you.
Okay. Yeah. Actually, so there is a little bit of business that I did want to cover first, Grace.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I take it back.
No, it's okay, because I'm surprising you with this business, and hopefully it's quick. Hopefully it doesn't take too long, but it does somewhat have to relate to the Christmas episode that I will be covering today. So a couple of weeks ago, I think, and maybe our last Thanksgiving episode, I was talking about all the different holiday birds, right? Like imagine if a turkey went up against a partridge in a pear tree. Yes. We mentioned this briefly. And the first thing I just had to clear up was that whatever lyrics I was like humming off in my mind in that episode, and I haven't gone back to re-listen to remember, but I butchered them. I had the days all off. I was saying like 5 turtle doves.
5 golden rings.
That's shit. Yeah, I know. They're whatever. But basically, so first of all, I wanted to clear that up because I'm a fan of birds, obviously.
You have to be.
And also because today's episode, we're going to be talking about a whole lot of birds because we are going to visit the town, our favorite fictional town, one of at least, St. Canard from Darkwing Duck.
Yeah, you better get that bird talk straight before we hang out with Darkwing.
It's like, whew, I got to clear the air here.
Oh, but, hell yeah. We haven't seen
it's been a minute.
DW in so long.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I can't think of the last time. Maybe since the arc. I think there was maybe another holiday episode somewhere in there. Like maybe a Halloween one. I think you did a Halloween one.
Oh, yeah, like a Frankenstein one. Yes.
Maybe. Or like Morgana. Wow. Anyways. So we're going to get a little DW in our lives here. But first, when I went to go check what the lyrics of the 12 Days of Christmas song were, it did confirm what we said, that there are a shit ton of birds in that song for whatever reason.
Tell me.
Okay. So we've got 1 partridge in a pear tree.
Classic. We knew that.
We've got 2 turtle doves. We've got 3 French hens.
Oh,
we've got
the first 1, 2, and 3.
4 calling birds. So the first 4 days, this person was just getting a shit ton of birds.
I know. I was saying, this person's like, what am I? What is this, an aviary now?
You see birds flying everywhere. Well, and because, I mean, the way that I interpret the song, it's like, so on the first day of Christmas, true love gave to me partridge in a pear tree. On the second day of Christmas, true love gave to me 2 turtle doves and a partridge in a pear tree. So doesn't that mean that exponential growth happening? Exactly. So by the end, you have like 12 or 13 partridges in pear trees.
And at some point, like you got 12 drummers drumming. Those birds are going fucking ham with the drummers everywhere.
And I'm not done. There's still 6 geese a-laying and 7 swans is swimming.
Geese, that's a type of, isn't a swan is a type of goose. You just got 11 geese.
Kind of. Basically. 2 times, or no, multiple times, because that's only on day 7. So you still have 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, that you're getting 7 more geese every time. So yeah, aviary is maybe not even.
Wow. You have a zoo. You have a zoo at this point. Where are you finding all these birds? Where are you getting them from?
Yeah, something doesn't seem legal about this. Okay, I don't know what year this song was written, but it doesn't seem like it was an easy year.
I got questions.
Or easy times to get those birds. So basically, though, the thing that brought all of this up in that episode, that Thanksgiving episode, was could a turkey take all of these birds? And I think I've pretty much narrowed it down to
we talked about it.
Yeah. I think the partridge in the pear tree and the 2 turtle doves, easy. Like from what I could find, partridges are like up to 2 pounds. There's a lot of different types, but like up to 2 pounds for a partridge. That's just one. A turtle dove is like, where did I write this down? Like 3.5 to 5.5 ounces. So tiny. two of them even. Okay, like 10 ounces of turtle doves, whatever. But then you get to the French hens, okay?
Okay,
And
yeah.
French hens, they can be like 9 to 11 pounds,
Okay.
8 to 11 pounds, depending on male or female. And there's three of them, and they've got talons. But apparently they're also very gentle and
But
friendly, and they're
turkeys
the ones that are
also have
easiest.
talons.
Exactly. True. Oh, but
I think
French
turkeys
hens,
could take
I
them.
learned, have five apparently per foot, which is abnormal for birds.
Ooh, creepy. Maybe that's why it
I,
was such a nice present. Maybe it was why it was specifically French hens,
a
not
French
just
hen,
normal hens.
exactly.
That's how much I love you.
Yes, but
Um,
French hens.
I think the turkey could still take three French hens.
I agree. I agree. This is like where I started to think, okay, the turkey might have some
Yeah,
competition, but
yeah.
I think they're too nice. To be fair, though, the partridge and the turtle could just fly away. But if we're limiting that ability,
Well, it's
yeah,
like a
those aren't
cage
even,
match.
they never
There's a
had a
top to it.
chance.
It's a dome.
Exactly, the cage match. And so then we've got the four calling birds, which basically is like a songbird, and there are way too many types of songbirds.
Oh,
So like,
easy
but
though.
basically they're all less than 2 ounces. So even
Yeah,
four of those,
just sit on
nah,
them.
sorry. And then this is really where it gets interesting. Six geese a
Geese.
laying and seven swans a swimming versus one turkey. I don't think
Yeah,
the
the
turkey can
turkey's
get
gone.
past either of
But what
those.
about one
Yeah.
on one? What about one goose, one turkey?
Ooh, so the
Because
average
geese have
male
teeth,
goose
right?
is 14 and a half pounds. Or wait, they can range. I typed some of this stuff there. I copied it from Wikipedia.
Yeah, you
The
knew I was gonna
average
ask questions.
male goose is 5 to 14 and a half pounds, and the
Okay.
average turkey, wild turkey male, is 11 to 24 pounds. So a lot bigger.
Yeah,
Geese do have teeth, though, like you were saying. Turkeys don't have teeth, right?
I don't think so.
Or do they? Yeah. So the goose could bite. They hiss, which might like scare the turkey a
Yeah.
bit.
But the turkey
But
could get huge if it's a male turkey, which is how
exactly.
they
And
fight.
yeah. And again, it's a cage match, so the goose can't fly away.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, if
yeah,
it's
I'm still gonna give it to the
1v1?
turkey, I think. Yeah. If it's six geese, the geese have this
Oh,
no
for sure. Yeah,
contest.
gang up. And same with
One
seven
goose.
swans for sure.
Agreed. One swan, because
But
swans are too nice, I think, to even want to fight. So one on its own wouldn't do
yeah.
anything. But seven swans, no chance against one
Mhm.
Thanksgiving turkey.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like 1v1 is hard because geese are so mean.
They are,
But the turkeys run my fucking neighborhood.
like
Like,
from firsthand
yeah,
experience.
I've seen the male. There's at one point there was like a this was last year, I think, like between like 4 and 8 male turkeys in our front yard, just all like threatening each other. And I was like,
Mm.
I can't go outside right now. Like,
You're like looking out your
they will
window.
hurt me.
It's like a scene from an old Western where everyone's
Yeah.
looking out the saloon and everyone's
Yeah. There's
yeah,
a
the
tumbleweed.
tumbleweed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little
So
snake slithers by.
yeah,
But yeah, I don't know. Geese are so mean. I feel like I feel like the goose would fight dirty, which might
it
give it the
would.
edge.
Yeah, I think
1v1.
it would. I think the turkey is a more traditional fighter. They go
Yeah.
by the rules. They'll fight hard
Yes.
and ferociously, but they're not
Yeah.
gonna go outside the playbook. Where a
Yeah.
goose,
But the goose,
nah,
no, it
yeah,
can't
they're
read. It doesn't
slimy.
have a playbook.
But the turkey can.
This turkey can read.
They can read, I swear. So, anyways, yeah, I was like,
Wow.
why not
I'm
throw
glad we
that in here
circled
since we're
back
doing a Darkwing Duck episode, anyways? It's like, this is literally the only time that it's kind of appropriate to even do this.
to
Is
bring it
when
back up.
yeah. So we're gonna
Honestly,
talk
I'm so
about
glad we
Darkwing Duck.
revisited this. Thank you.
Yeah, sure thing. I'm glad that I didn't waste time Googling the weights of all of those birds.
A bird
About
research is never wasted, my friend.
halfway through, I was like, man, I hope Grace gets a kick out of this
I
because I'm
fucking
not
love this.
turning back now.
Also, y'all, everyone let us know in the comments on
Yeah,
YouTube,
what do
on
you think?
Instagram, on
Who
Spotify.
wins?
Yeah, a 1v1 turkey versus a goose. I feel like that's the biggest
Mm-hmm.
question. Let us know what you
That
think.
is. I mean, if you want to throw in the swan versus turkey one too,
Yeah,
go
you can do
for it.
that
But
too.
I think that one, because okay, I didn't say swans are the biggest, one of the biggest flying birds actually. So they do get up to
Oh.
like 25 pounds.
But yeah,
So
wait,
they are a lot bigger
are
on average
swans
than
a
turkeys.
type of goose?
I think they might be like cousins, but I don't think they're like
A la,
actually.
like a dove is a pigeon technically.
I think doves and pigeons might be closer than swans and geese, but
Um,
I could be wrong from my quick
we'll
Googling to
we'll
find weights.
revisit
It
during
seems
our
like
next Darkwing Duck episode.
let me write this
We'll only follow
down.
up when we have birds in our episode.
Yes. I'm trying to think like, oh, is there a bird in my other one? Is there a way I can shoehorn that in? I'm just gonna add birds into my episodes now just so that we can keep this
Good.
debate
I mean,
going.
you're in every episode we do, so
True. So
it
it's
works.
always
Weird. It
appropriate to
works.
talk about the
It
birds. Yep.
is. Wow, thank you so much for
So
bringing me through that.
absolutely. Sure.
I
Happy
have
to
great
do it.
joy.
Happy to always Google facts about birds. I learned a lot too, and I'm holding myself back from just like blurting out all the information about birds that I learned
Just
today. So
shoehorn it in. I would love
I'll
it.
save it for my Thanksgiving dinner or whatever. It'll come up, I'm sure.
Ooh,
At
okay.
some
Everyone
point.
at your Thanksgiving dinners that just happened. Hope you asked everyone about
Hope
bird
you asked
facts.
about birds.
Ask
Yes.
at Christmas dinner or holiday dinners.
So, or yes, Christmas, whatever.
Yep.
So, all right. Anyways, on to the episode of Darkwing Duck. Now that we've been primed and warmed up with our animal bird talk
Just
and
like those birds
whatnot.
in the oven that we're eating at Christmas. Nice and warm.
Exactly. Yep. I don't know how hard six geese a laying can fly or can fight, but I know they're going to taste pretty good. So there's that.
So
There's that. But no, and I'm really glad that that you did the episode that you did last week, Grace, because it ties in so perfectly. Like the theme
Oh,
just is so perfect. You know,
okay.
as you were starting to tell it last week, I was like, man, I have to like keep a straight face here because we're going to talk about a lot of the same things today that you talked about
A
last
mall
week.
Santa who's vengeful?
Almost,
No.
kind of.
Okay, hell
So,
yeah.
and I'm sure that you can agree with what I'm about to say here. Well, I love the holiday season. I love Christmas. I love
Yeah.
winter. I gotta say, I don't particularly love the whole like rush and the chaos that comes
Yes.
with it. You know, I
Correct.
like snowy days. I like watching Christmas and holiday movies. I like having nice hot chocolate or warm
Yeah.
cocktails and hanging out with family and cooking, you know, fun winter treats. But I
Yes.
hate like going out to the store and shopping. And of
Yes.
course, going to the mall. Now, thankfully, nowadays, malls are nowhere near as crowded as they used to be, particularly
Yes.
like they were in your episode of Totally Spies
Chaos.
last week, and in this episode of Darkwing Duck that I'm covering today, which came out in 1991,
Peak
like
mall.
the peak, the heyday of the mall in
Yes.
America. So, like I said, it's true in the real world where we live that malls, and like you said last week, that malls get fucking crazy during the holiday season,
Hmm.
especially in the 90s and early 2000s. And this is also true in St. Canard and in the
Okay.
world of Darkwing Duck. Because you see, in this episode, it's Christmas Eve when we begin. And we are at the Galleria Mall, the Kenwood Mall of St. Canard,
Ah.
if you will, the fanciest mall. It's where everybody goes to get their Nordstrom items, right? And it is nothing short of chaotic there. You see customers fighting over gifts. You see,
Oh.
you know, people like tackling each other to get places in line to cash in
Fitting
on
that we just talked
deals.
about birds fighting.
Also true. I told you we're getting warmed up to see birds
Starts with
fight.
birds fighting. Great.
Stampedes are breaking out through this mall. Like it is a
Yikes.
violent, chaotic scene. People are
Okay.
getting chased around. And unfortunately, caught in the fray of all of this chaos is none other than not who you're thinking of, probably. It's
Uh,
actually our dear Professor Bushroot or Dr.
uh-oh.
Bushroot.
Okay. You can't handle them
Yes,
all.
he cannot handle them all. One, because he's just a pretty timid, you know,
Yeah.
nerdy kind of guy, at least pre. So, okay, I should probably back up. For those of you who, for whatever reason, aren't familiar with Darkwing Duck,
Yes.
Bushroot is one of the villains in the show. And this show is
Mhm.
about a duck named Drake Mallard who dons a costume a la Batman at night and calls
Yep.
himself Darkwing Duck and goes around the town of St. Canard saving the day from villains and criminals, right? And he does
Yep.
this with his sidekick Launchpad McQuack, aka LP, and sometimes also his adopted daughter Gosselin.
Yep.
And one of his many villains that he faces commonly through St. Canard is Bushroot, who, through a science experiment and through experimentation, changed himself into like a hybrid duck plant
Plant.
monster.
Yes.
Grace covered that episode in our Darkwing Duck arc. If you
Yep.
haven't heard it, go back and listen to
He
it.
comes back a
And he's
lot too.
Yes, he does come back a lot. He's a frequent villain, and he basically now has poison ivy type powers from
Hmm.
Batman, where he can control plants, he can communicate with plants, and he can make plants just like kill people if he wants. And that's what he often does.
Yep.
So I said that he is like a duck or a bird plant hybrid. And this is not lost upon people. They see him and they typically scream
Scream.
because he looks
Oh
like a
no.
monster. So when he's at this
Yeah.
mall in this episode, he does have on a very long trench coat and he has on like a fedora to
Mm.
disguise his face and to cover his appearance. And so he's kind of like sneaking through the mall, trying
Hmm.
to finish his shopping for his multiple female flower companions that he's listing
Oh,
off. He's got like Lily and Daisy and Rose and a couple
got a
of
whole
others. I'm
harem.
like, okay, got a whole harem in that
In that
freaking
greenhouse.
biodome, that greenhouse that he
Biodome.
lives in. So Bushroot is pretty disgusted as he's walking through the mall and seeing all of the chaos and all
Mhm.
of the violence and the stampedes literally
This makes
breaking
sense.
out. And he's kind of like hating the overall vibe that the general public is giving him in this moment, saying,
Uh-huh.
like, I really wish I wasn't here. I hate that I have to deal with all of these crazy, violent
Mm.
people. And he doesn't really seem to be in the Christmas spirit. And, you know, same, honestly, Bushroot, same in some
Yeah, he's not
cases.
wrong.
He's not wrong because here's an example of the kind of things we in the real world do around
Oh
the Christmas
no.
season
Oh
when
God.
shopping
Okay.
gets tight. Here's a real story
Oh
about none
no.
other than a Florida man, Grace.
Oh no.
In December of 2014, shoppers at a Walmart in Lake Wales, Florida, were sent into a panic as a man collapsed in front of them, appearing to have a heart attack. And as a shopper nearby waved down someone for help to help this guy having a heart attack,
Yes.
the man just lay on the floor, clutching his chest in pain, rolling around and screaming.
Okay.
A few moments later, though, before anyone was really able to get over and help this guy or resuscitate him, he just is able to slowly stand back up and he just kind of limps his way out of this Walmart, seeming to now be in only minor pain.
Okay.
Well, not long after, this man and a friend of his would be arrested by authorities for grand theft because, as it turns out, the man was not having a heart attack. Rather, he was just creating a distraction in the Walmart
So his
so
friend could
that
go
his
steal shit.
boss could steal. Exactly. He had a cart full of shit that he just snuck right out of the front entrance of this Walmart, including some of the stolen goods included
Let's hear
a
it.
Barbie Power Wheels car. So,
Oh, I wanted
like the
one of those
pink.
so bad when I was a
I
kid.
had one when I was a kid.
Oh.
They were pretty fucking awesome. And a Barbie glam vacation house, which I did also have a Barbie. I had the
Oh my
Barbie dream
God.
house. I don't think I had the vacation house, but I was like, okay, those are pretty high ticket items, not gonna
Yeah.
lie.
Damn.
But as soon as the man who was faking having the heart attack saw his accomplice leave the store with a cart
He's
full of
got
shit, he just got up and like just kind of like slowly walked out of there. He like still like I watched the surveillance footage. It's
it.
hilarious. Yeah, he was still like as he was walking out, like holding his chest.
Oh my
But like
God.
he got up like 2 seconds after falling down and he fell down super slowly and kind of just sat there until someone saw him and then he just like plopped down on the ground. And at first, the person looked at him was just like, "What?" And then he was like, "Oh, we need help." Like it wasn't even
Yeah,
super urgent. Like they could tell something.
I'm
I think they thought it was
confused.
a. I think they thought it was like a an emotional or maybe like psychological thing and not like a health thing at
Oh,
first,
I
maybe.
mean,
And then
both.
both, obviously.
Oh
But
my
anyways,
God.
yeah. So that's the kind of shit real life humans pull during the holidays. So to a certain degree, I get it,
Wow.
Bushroot. I absolutely get it. And the way that
Yeah.
these people, these
So
animals in
funny.
St. Canard are looking, I would not be surprised if at least a few people faked
Faking heart
medical
attacks.
emergencies.
Especially
Yes.
after the Barbie movie, even higher ticket
You kidding
items.
me? You kidding me, man?
Wow, that
So
is I wonder
Insane.
how often that happens, but the people just don't get caught, or we just don't hear about it because it's not in Florida, which has like the sunshine laws or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, true. I forgot about. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
That
which
is
is why we
why
have
the
so many
Florida man
Florida man
exists. Yeah,
stories, is because it's all
basically.
public.
Yes. Hmm. Well, that's a good point. Yeah. They
Wow.
probably happen a
USA,
lot more in Florida than
USA,
hey,
USA.
freedom. Free,
Well,
don't tread
my
on my rights. See, it's like people are like, yeah, free speech, man, whatever. This is literally like screaming fire in a crowded theater, though. It's like,
yes.
yeah, you can't just say anything.
You just
So,
you have a heart attack in order to commit a crime.
yeah, no,
Wow.
theft is still illegal.
Yeah,
Grand theft, no
exactly.
less. Like you took it over $1,000 or
Oh
something.
my
That's not
God.
good.
Whew.
So yeah, anyways, I feel you, Bushroot. I feel you.
Yeah.
I'm not like that panicked walking around a mall usually thinking like, oh my God, is someone gonna like fake a heart attack? Is
Have a
something gonna
big heart
happen? But
attack.
it's just like the stress of everything, right?
Yeah.
And so eventually, through all the scuffle of like pushing past other shoppers, and I think at one point he even kind of gets, like cut in line, or someone kind of pushes him
Mm.
out of line and he gets chased around a little bit. His costume kind of like falls off, like he loses his trench coat and his hat
Ah,
falls off. And then everyone kind of goes into a panic because they see that he
yeah.
is now the evil monster Bushroot.
Yep.
And so he is actually chased out of the mall by pitchfork carrying shoppers who
Classic.
don't want him to have anything to do with their holiday shopping.
Wow. Okay.
And, because
This
he's
is how
like
a
kind of
Grinch is
ruining the
made.
vibes. This is
Oh
how the
no. He's
Grinch is
already
made.
green.
And man, I wish I would have thought of that because you said the Grinch. In my mind, I typed Bushroot immediately turns into Scrooge. But you're right, he is green. Why didn't I think the Grinch? Oh, it's
Green.
because he says bah humbug like 3 times during this
Oh, yeah,
episode
that
that my
checks.
brain was like, only Scrooge. That's the only Christmas monster
Yep.
that
Yep.
exists. So yes, Bushroot at this point, I think the pitchforks kind of rubbed him the wrong way.
That
So
makes sense.
he vows to seek revenge on all of those shoppers, and at this point,
Yeah,
just like everyone in Saint Canard,
as usual.
and he's going to make them wish that Christmas, or no, he's going to make them glad, sorry, that Christmas comes only once a year.
Okay.
So he leaves the mall and he decides to go deep into kind of like the rural parts of St. Canard where there is a Christmas tree farm.
Okay.
And as if he is the general of the Evergreen Army, Bushroot commands all of the
Oh, that's
Christmas
right.
trees on this farm, yep, through the use of his powers,
Freaking, yep.
all of these Christmas trees in the forest, and eventually throughout St. Canard too, which we'll get to in a moment.
Uh-huh.
He commands them that the time has come to turn the Yuletide, to break your
Turn the
popcorn
Yuletide.
chains,
The gray line. Okay.
toss off your tinsel, and and rise up against your oppressor.
Wow. Okay.
So he got anarchist real quick,
Yeah,
and he
that
hops
escalated.
down. He hops down from like the top of the shed where he's commanding all of them, and he says, "Now fall in line and onward to victory." And it gets like hella militant. All of
Yeah.
these evergreens come to life
Fall in
and
line.
they begin marching. Yeah, they get in line and they start marching in lockstep behind Bushroot as he
Ooh,
starts guiding them onto this violent Christmas Eve mission.
great.
And their first stop, do I even need to ask? It's the mall,
Oh no.
obviously. He's like, I'm
Yep.
going right back to where we came from. But before we talk about the horror that these trees bring to the mall,
Great.
it's a massacre, yet another, the Christmas tree massacre.
Oh no.
Before we get there, let's just talk about Christmas trees, right? We'll like lighten the mood a little bit first.
Yes.
I guess maybe lighten the mood because I
Go.
have kind of always wondered, like, as someone who was raised Catholic, went to Catholic school basically until college, it dawned on me that I was like,
Why we do a
I've
Christmas tree?
never really understood the point of where the Christmas tree came from in the Catholic faith.
Yeah.
What is that about? And I'm not really going to answer that today because the
Oh.
Wikipedia page is really long and there's a lot of back and forth. But I will say,
What's your favorite
at
part of
least
it though? What part are we gonna
exactly, I
believe
will
in?
say my
Let's cherry
favorite
pick.
part of it, which actually happens to apparently be the very beginning of it too. So it kind of works
How
here.
convenient.
Per Wikipedia, the earliest legend And again, this is another one that as I was copying it in here, I was like, man, I hope Grace gets a kick out of this.
Okay, let's hear this.
Let
I
me
will. I already
compose
know it.
myself because I burst out laughing halfway through
Okay.
reading it when I first found it. Per Wikipedia, the earliest legend of the origin of a fir tree, like an evergreen, becoming a Christian symbol dates back to the year 723 AD, and it involves Saint Boniface as he was evangelizing Germany, which we don't love it, but hey, such is history and such
Such
is
is the
life.
church.
Exactly. And it is said that at a pagan gathering in Gismar, which is just a town, and like literally it's like right smack dab in central Germany. I had to look
Mhm.
it up on the map, like, what the fuck is this? Anyways, so a pagan gathering in this little town where a group of people were dancing under a decorated oak tree. They were apparently about to sacrifice a baby in the name of the god Thor, the god of thunder,
Oh.
lightning, storms, and protection, the Norse
Uh-huh.
god. And St. Boniface came up like, what you guys doing? And they were like,
Hey
hey,
guys,
we're about to sacrifice this
come
baby for the
on in.
protection of Thor. And St. Boniface was like, oh, no, 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 you don't need to do that. So he took an axe and he called on the name of Jesus through the power of the axe.
Oh my
And
God.
in one swipe, he was able to take down the entire oak tree that these pagans were dancing around.
Oh
And
wow.
all the pagans were like, whoa, that was amazing. Like,
Who's
who do
this
you pray to?
Jesus?
Who do you pray to? Yeah, like, tell me more about this
What's
Jesus.
his
He did this.
number?
And so, once the oak tree fell, they saw behind it there was a baby fir tree, nice little baby
Oh
evergreen
my
there.
God.
And Boniface said, let this tree be the symbol of the true God. Oh, not this Thor guy you're
Oh
talking
my
about.
God.
Its leaves are evergreen and will not die.
Oh
That's
my
also how they
God.
got the name evergreen, probably. That was also the Catholics, go figure. And the tree's needles pointed heavenward, upwards,
Oh.
and it was shaped triangularly, representing the Holy Trinity,
Oh my
aka
God.
Jesus, God, and the Holy Spirit. To which I read that and I was like, Pixar, it didn't happen. I don't know, man.
Okay. I'm
I
like,
don't know
someone
about
was
that one.
standing there in the forest, like, all right, Holy Spirit, where's it gonna come from? What's looks
Yeah.
triangle, triangle, three, three, three.
Triangle.
Where
He's
is
like, I'm
it?
gonna see it somewhere. There's got to be a triangle. He sees the tree, and then he sees the big oak behind it, and he's like, now, if only I could get them to focus on this little tree instead of this big oak tree.
What can
Hmm.
I do? What can I do? Oh my God.
Yeah,
How was
I'm
this
trying to.
recorded? Was this just like the
It,
Catholic Church
this was just
recording?
Saint Boniface writing in his journal as he evangelized Germany.
Wow.
So in
Wow.
my
What
brain
a
too, I was
journal.
like, man, this is what a journal.
What a
What
journal
I
to
would
stumble
do
upon.
to read a page of that. Yeah. He sent that straight back to the Pope, like, see how good I am?
Y'all,
See what I did?
don't come check, but I did this.
Some people who do this kind of stuff get named saints after they die. Just saying. Right now, it's just Boniface, but it
I'm
could
just
be
little old
Saint
Boniface, but
Boniface. Yeah.
that's the last page in his journal. Wouldn't it be lovely if I became a saint? Pope, whatever your name is currently.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
So I guess in one way or another, that's how, Christians and the Catholic Church maybe like got hip to trees and stuff like that, like hip to celebrating
Wait, you know what
trees
pagans love?
because
Trees.
trees.
Incorporate it. Bring it in.
Exactly.
Write it in.
This is how we steal their members. We got
Put it
it.
in the
You
next
guys like
edit.
trees?
Let's
We
go.
like trees
We
too. Have
love
you heard of this Jesus guy?
triangular
Yeah,
trees. Can't get enough of them.
we love them. So yeah,
Wow.
there's a lot of other stories about, like what is it? Not Estonia. Yeah, I think Estonia, Poland,
Mm.
like Latvia, all these different European
Every
countries have
saint has its own claim.
literally right. Or no, like they each caught wind of the tree being used during Christmas time at different
Oh,
times or whatever throughout history. So I don't know,
wow.
like there were too many different cultural interpretations of like this is what the tree means to them and them. And I was like,
Yeah.
Is there one that has to do with something like kind of weird? Because that's the one I want to talk about. And then I found one about sacrificing a baby to,
He said,
to the
done.
god Thor. And I was like, that's the one I want
And
to
you were
talk
like,
about.
oh, and the Catholic Church caught wind of this. You know they showed up.
Exactly.
You know Saint
It's
Boniface or just regular Boniface at the
Boniface at
time
that
was on
time.
the next pony
Yes.
over. He
He was
saddled
just
up
like
that horse.
pacing. He was just pacing through all sorts of woods, waiting for them to waiting to hear some sort of sacrifice or something. Like, ooh, which god can I debunk today?
Yes,
I
it
bet
was.
Thor could never chop this tree down with one swing of an axe,
Well,
could
you know
he?
what happened is that he'd been wandering for a while. He learned that, like this local, pagan tribe or village usually has, a party, a celebration near this one tree. So he went out there at like 2 a.m. and did like the initial chops in the base of a tree for
Yeah.
like 4 hours and then put some, like branches near it so it wouldn't like it look like it was
It looked like
pre-chopped. So then, like 12 hours later, he came back and was like,
ooh, Jesus,
by the power
strengthen
of
my
Jesus in
axe.
my axe. Ah! And cut it down in one swoop.
Like He-Man style.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Uh,
And then unfortunately, all of the ignorant pagans were like,
whoa.
wow,
Or the ones that weren't,
whoa.
he's like, and now you get the axe because I'm the church, and that's
Exactly.
what we do with non-believers. Let's go.
Yes. He's like holding the axe, like, so want to doubt Jesus?
Who's gonna question my
Holding the
method?
axe. Yeah.
Right, four of them were like, we
Oh
saw you
man.
out here in the morning. We were laughing at you,
We
just like
heard
literally,
you.
what? You were grunting so
We,
hard. You're so weak,
he's
you
like covered
Catholic
in
boy.
sweat.
You have so many like splinters in your hands right now.
Oh gosh. Yeah. So
Wow.
yeah, so
Wow.
that's anyway the fun story for Christmas
That's
trees, you
incredible.
guys. Share that at your holiday gatherings if you'd
Yes.
like.
Good,
Please
good, good, good,
do.
good.
For those of you like me who are fans of Marvel, you now know that Thor is a lot more significant in American culture than previously thought.
Hey, there you
So, in
go.
Catholic culture,
I mean,
so
Catholics
he's an
love
icon.
another religion to take over and incorporate into their
Exactly.
own and
It's
call it
like they
theirs so they can take
love
followers.
they love to call out a false deity. All of them are false except their own.
Exactly.
So, anyways, going back to the town of St. Canard,
Yes.
we remember that Bushroot has now gathered a literal army of
Army.
evergreen trees, of Christmas trees that are
Yes.
now making their way towards the Galleria Mall to
Mhm.
execute this mission of Christmas destruction that we will learn more about momentarily, what the exact steps of that mission are. Because you're probably like, they're trees. How do you
Yeah,
you just
what
gonna like send a bunch of
exactly
trees on the town? What's
is the
happening?
plan? Right, just like get some fire. Like, what
Yeah,
are they gonna
bye
do?
trees. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Hate to do it, but I mean, sorry, you're
Yeah, it
gonna
seems
kill us.
easy.
So yeah. So the trees begin their mission in a surprisingly covert and well orchestrated
Oh.
way, considering that they're very large, like evergreen Christmas trees.
Uh-huh.
But also it's clever, like I said, because they blend in, they decide to blend in as decorations throughout the mall. Because they're
Oh,
like,
so
oh,
they
hey, it's
walk
a
up and
mall.
pause.
Exactly. I think everyone is too busy in the middle of a stampede or like some shoppers riot
Right.
to like really pay attention to what these
Okay.
decorations are doing. So yes, you do see a bunch of trees kind of like stand into place throughout the mall as
That's
if
kind of
they were just
scary. Okay.
part of the holiday decorations, and yes, would
I
be
don't love that.
terrifying. And these trees begin to quietly just like use their branches to remove items from people's bags and put them into other people's
Oh,
bags and to just
oh,
generally kind of like create chaos and sowing deeper
okay.
discord among all of these
Mm.
shoppers. They're
Oh,
like
that's pretty
pushing people
smart.
around. You destroy the enemy from within. You
Yeah,
just drive everyone
truly.
crazy against each other.
The true
Exactly.
holiday spirit. That was the Catholic Church when Boniface was in the woods. Destroy the enemy from within.
Within, exactly. Make them hate each other, and then they will come
And their
flocking to
own
me.
gods.
Yes. So eventually, after a lot of examples of people accusing others of,
Mm,
shoplifting or theft, like, hey, this person stole this toy from my bag, or hey, this
mhm.
person hit me, but like they are way over there. Like, how could they have hit
Yeah,
you? But who thinks that a tree branch would like push you down, right? Like, and
correct.
also it's a mall. You probably think the trees are fake anyway, so you're not
Yeah.
expecting them to be actual trees. And again, trees don't even
Alive.
technically they don't push people. So
Yeah.
even if they were real, you don't expect that. So Bushroot, he is eagerly watching from behind a wall of poinsettias as these stress shoppers start to get physical with one another and
Great.
generally seem to be running out of patience and getting a
Mm.
lot more kind of chaotic and creating more just discord throughout the mall.
Yeah.
So he's like, all right, this is going well. It was actually a lot easier than I thought it would be
Yeah.
to spoil Christmas for all of these horrible people here.
Uh-huh.
And so now I guess I can move on to phase two of my plan.
Okay, there's a phase two.
So phase two is that he orders two of the trees, in particular, two of the trees that happen to be right behind good old Santa Claus, to just kidnap Santa Claus.
Oh no.
Yes. So Santa's in the middle of like, taking kids' wishes. There's kids coming on his lap. And then
Oh
right
no.
when one, walks
Broad
away out of
daylight?
his little in broad day. I guess it's like evening time at this
Broad
mall, but
mall
yep,
light?
in the
Fluorescent
open.
light?
I think so in fluorescent light under the LEDs. I don't know. um, I think so. The way it's set up is this Santa is like in a workshop and there's a whole line that kids wait to
Uh-huh.
get into outside of that, but it's like one kid at a
Oh, so they have to
time.
come in. Okay.
Exactly. So a kid comes in, sits on his lap, gets their wish,
Got
they
it.
leave,
Leaves.
another kid
Okay.
comes in. So it's like in between kids
Okay,
that
got
these
it.
two trees just like collapse on Santa and like suck him into them.
Just the branches. Oh
And
God.
then we just see Bushroot take his place.
All right. Let me hear about how he looks as Santa, because our last Santa, bad.
Grace, it pains me to say he is even less committed to the part than our last Santa.
At least this wasn't his
This
dream. He's like, this is a means to an
true.
end. Okay, let
Exactly.
me hear
This isn't
it.
his dream. He never a day in his life wanted to be a Santa, but he's found himself in this position, and so he's just making it work.
He's stepping in.
He was called to be one. He didn't seek it. Okay, he was
Yeah.
called, and he's a skinny little thing, like a
Yeah.
half plant duck thing. So the beard is like draped off of his
Okay.
neck. You see that he's green. You see his deranged, like circling eyes as he's
Yeah.
looking at you. He's not trying to change his voice. He's using his
Okay.
normal, nerdy, kind of like higher octave voice.
Yeah.
And even worse than the last Santa, less committed to the part, is that instead of like really even trying to pretend that he's interested in what these kids are wishing for, he's just like berating them, physically assaulting them, and straight up traumatizing them.
Oh
Yes.
no.
So, like, I think the first kid that comes into him, he's like, so what do you want for Christmas, little brat, or whatever? And the boy's like, well, Santa, I want some drums. And Santa's like, oh, that's perfect because I want you to beat it. And he just like throws him out of the
Oh my
workshop, or like one of the trees like smacks him out of
God.
there. Yeah.
Okay. He's
So
ruining Christmas.
he's ruining Christmas. He is traumatizing these kids for the rest of their lives. Like, not
Wow.
only will
Okay.
they never want to see Santa again, they're going to forbid their kids from even mentioning
They're not
Santa.
even gonna
They're
have a
never going
Christmas
to
tree in
celebrate
the
Christmas.
house.
Exactly.
Wow.
Like, they're not going to even let their kids turn on Santa Claus movies or
He
anything like
is
on TV.
creating the Santa that then occurred in my Totally Spies episode.
Yes,
This is a villain
literally.
origin
This
story.
is how that little
Yes.
kid that wanted drums, somehow he turned into a human and
Yeah.
became the
The
villain
Totally
in
Spies
your
villain.
episode.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
yeah. So, I
Bad.
mean, for Bushroot, it's going well. Yeah. But for
Yeah,
the
true.
kids,
Okay.
very, very bad. Yeah.
But sure. Great.
Yeah, Bushroot good, at least
Okay.
temporarily, because, they're kids. Like, if they're crying, leaving this workshop, like, they're going to tell their
Something's
parents
wrong.
why they're crying. They're going to say,
True.
like, or their parents are just going to notice that something is wrong. So eventually, all of the parents get together and form yet again another pitchfork carrying angry
They
mom to
did it
attack
once.
this.
They'll do it twice.
They keep their pitchforks on them always. They're always ready
There's a
for
sale at the
an
mall.
angry mob. Yeah.
They all picked it up.
And and so they yet again chase Bushroot through the mall. thinking he's Santa this time, though I don't think they know he's
Okay.
Bushroot. They're saying like, "Hey, you're the Santa that made my kid cry. Let's
Okay.
get him out of here."
Wow.
But he is able to find a tree nearby that he hides underneath, and it kind
Okay.
of like, protects
Shields
him
him.
underneath there. Exactly. And all of
Okay.
the mob just runs right by and can't find him. But elsewhere in the mall, we see some other shoppers, and these are our favorite shoppers in St. Canard, probably the ones we've been waiting for all
Yes.
along.
Okay.
Good old Darkwing Duck and his boo thing, or his sidekick, Launchpad McQuack. They are out doing some last minute shopping. Launchpad is obviously carrying all the gifts while DW is just like
Cute.
saying, "No, we got to go here next. We got to go
Oh my
here
God.
next." And it's even more adorable because this happens after they spent a whole bunch of time decorating their house together, which
Oh,
I still got to ask, why does Launchpad live there if they're not
if
dating, if they're
not
not
together.
together, if they're not a couple? There's
They
no other reason
are.
for Launchpad. They are, and they Launchpad's putting all the decorations on the
Oh my God,
tree. The
cute.
two of them are trying to keep Goslin from getting her gifts from under the tree, and they're like, "All right, Goslin,
Classic.
you stay here. We're gonna go finish doing all of our last minute shopping." So it's just
Uh,
those two at the mall right now.
okay.
And as they're going around hauling all these gifts through the mall, they do start to notice that folks and shoppers are getting like a little antsy, a little frisky, and that, a few
Screaming.
angry moms have formed out the mall. Just a couple. So they're
So
like,
frisky, you know?
just a few pitchforks, just a little frisky. And so they're like, maybe we should look into this. Like, that last mob looked a
Maybe.
little violent. Something must be going on here.
There's a lot of fire with those pitchforks. That's not a good
Yeah.
sign.
I've seen like three elderly people beating up some little kids. Like, this
This
isn't
seems
totally
different than the
normal.
usual mob.
Yeah. It's usually violent, but not like this. And so eventually they kind of like follow the path of this violence and everything, and they
Okay.
do cross paths with Bushroot. And they quickly learn and realize that he is using his powers to control Christmas trees and plants
Yeah.
around the mall into terrorizing all these shoppers and ruining Christmas for everyone. And when DW finds out about this, he almost like wants to vomit in Bushroot's face through the utter disgust of this plot to use Christmas to destroy Christmas. He's like,
Wow.
the sacrilege. How dare you? How dare you use Christmas trees? This is just so un-Christmas like.
He loves Christmas.
He's disgusted, and it is adorable. He does, as we see throughout the episode, he's very big on making sure Goslin understands the
Aw.
true meaning of Christmas. Again, he doesn't want her opening her gifts on time. He's trying to say
Yep.
it's about being nice and kind. So
Cute.
he's pissed off. He's
Yeah. And he already hates
he's like,
Bushroot, so
true, exactly. To see that he's taken it this far. Oh no, no, no.
yeah.
So Bushroot though, he's like, I don't care. Like, I don't care what you think. Like,
Yeah, I
have
don't
you
know
you
you.
haven't seen the Christmas I've seen. Okay, Darkwing. It's not the same
You
for
don't
me.
know.
So he just like shrugs it off, Bushroot does, and
Uh-huh.
just leaves them all with a couple of tree escorts. So I was like, damn,
Okay.
Darkwing, why don't you chase after him? But he
Yeah.
does have massive trees escorting him out of the mall. And then
Yes.
he directs some of the other trees that are still in the mall to attack DW and LP.
Okay, well, that's probably why I didn't go
And
after him.
also that,
Being attacked.
exactly. And at first, DW always has some sort of tool, or like he's got a
Yeah.
gun that can shoot whatever out of it. And it kind of works for a minute. He's able to kind of slow some of these trees down, but they're trees. Like, again, like you said before, unless you have like fire, I don't really know
Yeah.
what you're going to do. And I don't think DW is about to set this mall on fire. So instead,
Yes.
him and Launch, just you wait now. Not in this episode, but
Okay.
yeah. Anyways,
Awesome.
so he and Launchpad basically just run and hide. They're like, well, let's just wait it out. We'll wait for
Okay.
the trees to go a different way, and then we can get out of here and follow Bushroot.
Okay.
And so once the trees do go far enough away from him in the mall, they do follow a trail of pine needles that lead out of the mall into where they think Bushroot is headed.
Okay.
But Bushroot, he's already gone. He's on to the next phase of his plot, which is driving a flatbed truck through the city. I don't know where he stole it. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's evil. He doesn't care. I'm like, where did
Okay.
he get this truck?
Just like
He
left,
stole it.
right, and center, like running people off the road.
No, 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 no. Thankfully, he's just driving it, just
Oh,
regular driving. Yeah, it should. Thankfully,
okay.
yeah. No, no.
Okay.
He's like, I'll use plants to do my dirty work. I don't want to get
Okay. I'm
my
like, what part
hands
of the
dirty.
plan is this? Like, what's
Yeah.
happening in this phase? He's going for a nice
Yes.
drive.
Just a nice stroll. He just needed some fresh air. It got stuffy in that
Oh,
mall, and he just wanted to
oh,
clear his mind with the radio
oh.
blasting, cold
Windows
winter breeze
down.
flying through the windows. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But no, for real. He begins yelling, through the window. He rolls the window down as he's driving, and he's yelling orders through a megaphone to all of the
Oh,
Christmas trees, both those, just in the city, out on the sidewalks, and those
okay.
inside homes in St.
Oh
Canard.
no.
And he
Okay.
tells them, like the other ones at the farm, to rise up and to proceed with Operation Bahumbug, as he calls it.
Okay.
And AKA meaning that all of these trees need to start gathering all of the gifts that are set out underneath them
Oh.
and bring them out to him to the flatbed truck. And then when they come
Oh.
out to him on the truck, they have been ordered to get onto the truck, and then he will drive the trees and the gifts elsewhere, which we will get to,
Oh.
a location we will get to in a moment.
Okay.
So, like the Grinch, which
Yes,
again
I was gonna
makes
say
me sad that I didn't think of
he's
the
the plant
Grinch.
who stole Christmas.
Yes,
He's the plant
the
duck who
bush
stole
fruit that
Christmas.
stole Christmas. Yes, because he was being bullied and was assaulted multiple times.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it turns out that Goslin and Honker were at home at the Mallards slash
Mhm.
D Darkwing Duck's home when Bushroot went there to try to steal their tree. Because again, he's going like house to house through all the
Okay.
neighborhoods. And naturally, Goslin, being the way she is, when she saw Bushroot like
Yep.
sneaking in the tree to like command this, or sneaking in the window to command this tree to get the gifts and stuff, she was like, "Oh, wait, I recognize you. You're one of my dad's greatest
Yeah. Oh,
villains.
hell
Like,
no.
we need to take you down."
Yep.
Exactly.
Classic
Hell
Goslin.
no. And because she's been super protective of her gifts underneath that
Mm.
tree. So when she sees him stealing them, she's like, oh fuck no. I don't care what else you've done in your past. This is terrorism,
This is
Bushroot. This
personal.
is it. This is personal. Yeah. So like I said, Honker, her best friend and their next door neighbor, Honker Muddlefoot, he was there with her at the time because they
Mhm.
were both, playing together, getting ready for Christmas. And so she grabs him and they run out of the house after Bushroot to chase him down. But he's already back in the truck, getting ready to drive off.
Okay.
And coincidentally and thankfully, DW and LP eventually catch up with Bushroot as he is driving on their street.
Cool.
So DW, once he sees Bushroot getting into his truck and starting to drive off, DW decides to jump off of his motorcycle, I guess,
Okay.
attempting to like do this badass maneuver and jump
no.
into Bushroot's
The
truck,
truck.
like maybe through the window or something. He's like, yeah,
Okay.
I'm Darkwing Duck. I can do anything. I
course
am
I
the terror that
can.
flaps in the night. And instead, though, I guess he like slightly miscalculates
Muffs
because
it.
instead
Yep.
of jumping through the driver's seat window, he just jumps in front of the truck and Bush
Oh, I think you're saying like he lands in a tree or something. Oh.
he just jumps in front of the truck and Busher just runs right into him and then just runs over him.
Oh.
So like it looked really badass at first, and then he got ran over. So
One dead duck. Do, 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 do. Oh, okay.
Ooh, yep. So
Uh,
that's the first day of Christmas, I guess.
I guess start your oven.
Yeah, I guess we're having duck for dinner. It's sad for LP and Honker and Goslin, but times are
Yeah.
tough. So, yeah, Goslin, Honker, and LP all see this and they're like, yeah, he'll be fine. The three of them catch up, like, wait, so it's Bushroot, he's commanding trees, and they're stealing gifts. Like, right, we're all on the same page. And LP's like, yes, that's what we got. That's what we gathered from the mall.
Yeah.
So they all get back on the motorcycle and they're like, dude, Darkwing, like, come on, Dad, hurry up. We gotta go. And Darkwing's still just like laid out in the snow.
Is he like flat?
So there's so much snow that you just see like his body
Oh, like
indentation in the snow and like the tire
yes.
marks around it.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
But he gets up and is obviously like starry-eyed and bruised and
Yeah.
everything. And yeah, so he's hurting, but it's okay. He's a hero. So he gets back on the bike and they take back off after the truck, after Bushroot. And so they follow Bushroot through St. Canard quite a bit, or for quite a
Okay.
bit. And it's a crazy ride where at one point Gosselin winds up driving the
Oh no.
motorcycle.
Her
Honestly,
dream.
actually, for most of the ride, it is her dream. She literally says this during a point too, saying like, this is like a Christmas gift I'll never forget, or something like, or talk about a Christmas
Oh
like
yeah.
experience, something like
Love
that. Like
her.
she's loving it.
Yep.
And she's actually a fucking badass driving this
Not
thing too.
surprised
Like,
at all.
not a bit. For a second, I was like, "Ooh, no, Gosselin driving." Then I was like, "Oh wait, no, Gosselin driving."
Goslin
This
driving.
she actually probably should have been driving from the beginning. So
Yeah.
this works. But anyway, they realize that they are following Bushroot back to that very same tree farm where he assembled the troops in the
Okay.
beginning. And the trees and Bushroot CDW and company approaching them as they're kind of unloading all the gifts and everything off of this flatbed truck. And once DW gets closer to them, Bushroot's like, fuck it, just drop everything and run and hide, like go into the
Uh-huh.
middle of the forest, I guess, like blend in so he doesn't know which
Which
trees are
one's
which and
yeah.
hide. And the gang, once they pull up to the empty flatbed truck, I mean, they see Bushroot running away. So they're like, all right, we
Yeah.
clock that, like put a pin in that. But for now, DW is like, all right, Launchpad, Gosselin, Honker, you guys make sure these gifts all get, redelivered to everyone in town.
Great.
Go get these gifts got dropped off. I'll go take down Bushroot one versus
Yes.
one or one on one, plus thousands of trees that are
Plus,
around. I'm
yeah.
in a tree
Plus
farm.
you're literally a forest.
You're in a forest on
Yeah.
a tree farm. So
Yeah, you're
yeah,
kind of
this
on
sounds
his
like a fair
turf.
fight. And I think Bushroot did this knowingly. I like maybe
Yeah.
the tree
It's a good
farm wasn't
plan.
his original. It really is because I don't know if this was his original destination, like his original idea. But I think once he knew he was being followed by DW, he was like, okay, where's the safest place for me to go? A place with a lot of plants and trees that I can
Yeah.
command.
This is an
So
army,
again,
basically.
yes, an army that I have raised and that is brainwashed
Yes.
by me, hypnotized by me.
Yep.
So, yeah, this shows Bushroot's intelligence. Maybe we doubted
Mhm.
him in previous episodes, but
Yeah.
if nothing else, this episode definitely gives us an idea of how familiar Bushroot is with DW and his ways.
Yeah.
Because it takes maybe, I want to say, 15 to 20 seconds for Bushroot to immediately draw Darkwing out into a very open area where
Yep.
he then puts him in the path of a murderous and massive Douglas fir tree,
Ooh, okay.
aka the Douglas spruce, the Colombian pine, and
Oh,
the Oregon
oh.
pine. I was like, oh, I bet Grace knows a thing or two about the Douglas
I've probably
fir.
seen it many times.
Probably have, yeah, because they're all up on the Pacific Northwest
Yep.
coast. Medium to extremely large evergreen tree, ranging from 70 to 330 feet tall,
Yeah,
and
pretty
typically
big.
with an 8-foot diameter. So, all of that is to say, DW is facing a brick wall, a wooden wall
You
right
know, when
here,
I
with
see them,
pointy, prickly evergreen leaves coming at him, too.
when I see them in Oregon, I'm like, look at this triangular shape. You know what this makes me think of? The Trinity.
Jesus.
Jesus. The
The Holy
Father, Son, and
Trinity.
Holy Ghost.
Yes, basically. I think that DW thought the same thing because he probably thought that thing or saw that
CW
thing and was like, Jesus Christ.
CW needs Jesus right now.
He needs Jesus. He's praying to Jesus. He's calling out Jesus's name. Because yeah, this Douglas spruce or this Douglas fir, however you want to call it, it smacks the shit around of DW.
Yeah.
Like he gets
Yeah, he's a
he gets his
duck.
ass kicked.
Yeah,
He's a duck.
he's a duck.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like a 3-foot tall duck, and this is a
Yes.
330-foot tall, 8-foot diameter, 400-year-old
Tower.
tree. Yeah.
Yeah. Wasn't gonna go
So
well.
it wasn't. And Bushroot, he called it out perfectly. He knew
You.
exactly what he was doing.
Yep.
And he's enjoying this beat down so much that he actually hops onto the Douglas fir to watch it even
Oh
closer.
my
Like as
God.
the fir is like beating
Firsthand.
down on, yeah,
Like I want to
on
see those feathers
DW.
flying.
No. But we know that DW, he doesn't give up a fight easily.
No.
And this pisses Bushroot off a bit because Bushroot, he's trying to just get him out of here quick so he can get back to destroying all of these gifts and ruining everyone's Christmas.
Hmm.
So he orders the rest of the trees around them in this farm to also begin attacking DW.
Oh God.
But DW, I guess that he must have gotten an early copy of the world famous movie Dodgeball because he is able to dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge all of the tree's projectiles. He is just flying,
Goslin just
doing
throws wrenches at him
somersaults.
at home.
I'm just practicing a
Uh-huh.
whole fucking toolbox,
You can
exactly.
dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball
Dodge a
or a
ball.
tree.
Yeah, in this case. So eventually, DW, he dodges his way out of there and he reaches a fire hydrant that is nearby. And
Okay.
he's able to like rip it out of the ground and redirect the resulting like plume of water so that it hits the trees.
Okay.
And a big cold winter gust of wind flies through and
Mm.
it instantly freezes the trees. So if you can't fight them with fire, I guess fight them with water
Mm.
and a freezing cold day. And
Of
then
course.
he directs us. Duh.
Duh.
I knew I wrote that down somewhere. Shit.
Obviously.
And so he then directs this plume of water at Bushroot, which then immediately freezes him as well.
Nice. Good, good, good.
And it also freezes Bushroot's reign of terror, which I actually thought of that and saying it out loud now. I'm like, yeah, I wish the Darkwing said that and not me.
Yeah, I feel like Darkwing would have said it.
Yeah, it sounds
Oh
like a
yeah.
Darkwingism. So yes, he freezes Bushroot's reign of terror. I'll say it again. It's so bad, I'll say it twice. And he restores the Christmas spirit to all of St. Canard.
Good.
Well, maybe
Oh,
not all of St. Canard,
okay.
because when DW returns home, he sees LP, Gosselin, and Honker sitting on that flatbed truck with only Gosselin's mountain of Christmas gifts remaining.
Okay.
And DW sees this, like, why is everyone so glum? Like, you guys got everything redelivered.
Yeah.
We've just got Gosselin's gifts now. Why are we so sad here? Let's fill me in.
Yeah.
And the gang, they look at DW and they tell him that, yeah, they got everything redelivered. Literally everyone else's gifts were redelivered,
Okay.
except for the Muddlefoots.
What happened
Honker's
to
gifts.
Honker's present?
Honker, his brother, and his parents, for whatever reason, their gifts are still missing.
No.
And at this point, so DW looks at Honker like, really? And Honker kind of nods.
That's so
And
sad.
Gosselin cuts in and says, well, luckily my gifts are still here.
Oh my God. God. Wow, sorry your family's poor, is what she just said. So your parents don't
Wow.
love you. Damn,
Wow. Sorry that
maybe
it
they're
sucks
just not
to suck Honker.
maybe they're just not
Like,
Christian. They don't celebrate Christmas. Whoo!
well, it's funny because so I didn't say it earlier, but like the Muddlefoots were also Honker's parents were also at the mall. And
Oh,
actually, I
okay.
think that's why Honker was at DW's
Oh,
because
because they were gone.
Honker's parents and his brother were at the mall shopping. And so I think Honker was like at DW's, like
Got it.
babysitting or like hang out with your friend while we're gone. And
Yeah.
so like they were there shopping and like his family apparently is very excited about Christmas. Like we see his dad getting
Oh,
excited for all the decorations and
oh
everything.
my
So
God. What kind of ending is this?
and I literally just the belly laugh that I had when Gosselin says in front of Honker, like pointing to her mountain of gifts. Thankfully, mine are all still here.
Rat.
Like I've never laughed so hard at Darkwing Duck in my life when I first saw that.
Wow, I really thought you were gonna be like, and so Goslin said, like, your family's presents got destroyed, and so here's mine. Like, let
We'll
me.
put a pin in that.
Oh,
We're not
thank
done
God.
yet.
I was like, then it ends.
You know, I just have to express how hilarious this moment is.
Wow, like
The
poor
fact that they found
shaming.
it, the poor shaming and just like the luck of the Muddlefoots of like, how do you literally
Always.
find every single other gift and like re-triangulate it, but like not there? Just so
Oh,
funny
right.
because
Half the gifts just say
Honker
like to mom, and they're like, oh, that goes to this house. What else? We don't know.
no clue. And so yeah, Honker is extremely upset and sad about this. Like after Goslin points to all of her fucking gifts, he just gets out of the truck, puts his head down, and slowly walks back towards his house. And DW stops him, like, oh, Honker, like, God, I'm so sorry. I wish there was something we could do. Like, you can tell that DW is actually
Yes,
very, very sad about this and probably
understands the
is also like,
situation.
Goslin, shut the fuck up. Don't you dare talk to your friend like that. Like, yeah, I think he feels bad
Yeah,
that his daughter just said that to Honker
yeah,
too. He's
rightfully.
like, if there was something we could do, like you tell us, let us know if there's anything at all.
Yeah.
And Honker is just like, it's okay. I know Santa Claus will bring us something.
Oh
He
my God, and
always
Honker's so
does.
cute
He is
too.
so adorable. I know.
Oh God.
And once he mentions Santa and he kind of just walks away back into the house, DW and LP look at each other like,
We gotta get back to the mall.
uh-oh, he has faith in Santa.
Oh
Ruh-roh.
shit.
And so DW, he looks at Goslin and LP and he's like, poor little guy. And God, I'm so glad that you called out the poor shaming before Grace because it gets crazier. Goslin comes up to DW and is like, he's not poor, as if it's like an insult.
Oh my
And then
God.
she's
Goslin's
like,
making
how
thup
dare
worse.
and she's like, how dare you call my friend poor? I would never have a poor friend.
Shut up.
But
Goslin, you're not getting any presents now.
it's not, I know it's like, Austin, you just lost all your presents. But she kind of follows it up with a win by saying, you can't be poor if you have friends. Which at first I
Okay.
was like, oh, that's cute. But also, honey, boo boo, no, that's not true. You can be poor and have friends. You can be very
Also,
poor and have friends.
okay,
You
are
can
you
be
still
poor
sit?
with your friends can be poor together. Like we're all
Yeah.
poor
And
in
like,
this
are you
economy.
saying this atop your mountain of presents still?
Yeah, exactly.
Honey, honey
Like,
child,
yeah,
what's going
must
on?
be nice. It sounds easy
Yeah.
coming from
To
you.
have friends and presents. Goslin,
Yes.
must be nice.
But no, she is nice because DW, he then puts on a Santa Claus outfit. And in the wee morning hours, he does put all, with her consent, and of course, it's her idea, that
Okay,
he puts
good.
all of Goslin's gifts under the Muddlefoot's Christmas tree. And the Muddlefoots hear Santa stirring through
Uh-huh.
their family room at night. So they wake up. Mr. Muddlefoot, most excited of all, wakes up to
Aw.
see Santa and they see him putting the gifts down there. And I'm not sure if they realize that it's DW. Honestly, I can't tell. I was like, do they know it's him or do they really think this is Santa? Because they're just like,
Oh,
wow, thank you so much. But I feel like they also throw in a, wow, who would do this for us type of thing
yeah.
too. So like
And like
they're
they're
on
in
the
front of their
fence. They may believe.
kids. They're not
Exactly.
gonna be
Yeah,
like,
true.
hey, thanks. Hey, thanks, DW.
Hey,
Appreciate
thanks,
it.
Drake. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
right in front of
Yeah.
their children who believe in
So
Santa.
exactly. So the family is all very, very pleased and surprised by this and just super thankful to see all of these trees under on all these gifts under their Christmas tree and
Mm.
making it seem more like Christmas again in their house. But once Honker sees all the gifts under the tree, he realizes that this isn't Santa, I think. He
Mm.
realizes that this is DW. And he
Oh.
walks up to him and he gives him the biggest bear hug and just buries his face in DW's like Santa Claus little belly and just hugs him and thanks him. And Grace, when I say my heart melted, I cannot
Oh,
tell you how quickly my heart melted. And I know DW's did too, because he like looks at the camera and his eyes get all like twinkly. Like,
watering. Oh my God.
and so they leave out of there and on their way back to their own home. Darkwing applauds Gosselin for being so selfless and such a good
Mm.
friend and for finally learning the true meaning of Christmas. And he is genuinely so proud of her. He's saying, like, I am so proud of you, Gosselin. You really, like, you finally got it, patting her on the back and
Oh.
everything. Again, making my heart melt because he's such a good father. And when they get home, LP notices that there is a gift, Launchpad notices that there's a gift sitting at the front door with a note on it saying, to Gosselin from Santa. And this isn't just any gift. It happens to be her dream gift. The gift that when you watch this, you'll see she's been talking about throughout the entire
Oh.
episode. It's all she wants, a brand new sled. And so she instantly rips the packaging, the gift wrap off of it, and takes the sled for a ride in the yard. And DW and LP kind of look at each other like, when did you have time to get that? Or I
Uh-huh.
didn't, honey, you didn't ask for
I
the
don't know.
checkbook
This
to
is such a
go
parent.
buy it. I didn't
Like they're in
I
luck
didn't see that transaction from our
on
banking
a
account.
card.
When did you get on that card? When did you get that? And so they're fighting over that, and then they realize, huh, it must really be a gift from Santa. And
Oh.
that's the end.
Oh my God. Wait,
Yeah,
what a cute ending.
right. Gosselin,
Oh.
I feel like that's a common theme with Gosselin throughout our Darkwing
Yeah.
Duck coverage is that like 1 minute we fucking hate her, and the next we're like, damn it, yeah, she is the best,
Damn,
actually.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And she
Wow.
did it here again.
Great job. Also, I'm like, while this heartwarming thing was happening, Busher's just sitting in jail, which is also funny to think about.
Frozen. They probably have like hair dryers on him or
Yeah, just
something to
thawing
like
him
thaw
out.
him. Yeah. Exactly.
He's under a UV
Yeah.
lamp.
Yeah, yeah. Just like in a pot or something
Yeah, a
like
little grow
that.
lamp.
Yep,
Wow, great
yep.
job. Great
Thank
work.
you, thank you. And thank you to Darkwing Duck for giving us reasons to talk about all sorts of bird stuff this week.
Yes. And
Never a
pagans.
lost opportunity. And pagans.
We love
Hey,
them both.
the intersection of the holiday arc, man, the things you can talk about,
Hey,
birds and pagans.
it works. It all makes sense.
It's all
Wow, great
fair.
job.
Christmas came up in there too. Thank you. Thank you.
That was very
And
fun.
we will continue our holiday arc next week with our third, well, I was going to say Christmas episode, but I don't know what you're doing.
Our third
You always
holiday
surprise me.
episode.
Another holiday episode, winter
Yes.
episode that Grace will give us next week. But until then, who should everyone tell about this show?
I think we talked a lot about the church, the Christian Catholic Church, this
We
episode.
did. Yep. Sorry,
This is
family members who are listening. Love you.
and sorry, people who aren't Catholic or Christian. We obviously were
Also,
just talking about Christmas, or if you don't celebrate Christmas. But
yeah,
I'm gonna focus on
talk about
that
all
group
holidays.
again,
Mhm.
presuming that if you're going to church on or around Christmas, you should tell your pastor or priest about this episode.
Nice.
Maybe
Oh, they
get
will love
communion.
us.
Maybe during confession or something.
Yeah.
They're sitting on the other side. They could put an AirPod in while they're hearing what you're bitching and moaning about.
Yeah, they probably do. Especially during confession. You can't even see them. They
Are bored of what you've done. They've heard it all.
They have, truly.
They think you're a bad person. They don't want to hear it.
They don't want to hear it. Of course, they think
ear.
if you think you're bad, then why wouldn't they? Of course they do. Why are you even here? Because you're a bad person. I get it. I get it. I hear it all the time. Yeah.
They know it.
The power of Christ is on you, and peace be with you. We'll pray over your
8
soul.
rosaries, yada, 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 yada.
Yeah.
Other ear, they're listening to us. So let them know.
Could you imagine? Man. Honestly, I would be honored if we had a priest demographic. I'm here for that.
Lost
or
demo.
Like a pastor demographic.
Trying to find
the only pastor who's maybe ever listened to this podcast that I know of is my uncle. If he's even gotten to a full episode. Yeah, I'm very sorry, Uncle Terrell. I apologize.
Oh,
yeah.
All right, it's Daryl's brother. Super sorry then.
Sorry about it.
Yeah. Okay, who else should I tell?
Okay, so I guess if we're sticking with Catholic church, and I think other Christian churches do this too. Tell like the altar boy or girl
Oh
who
yeah.
works, who is actually up on the altar with the
Oh
priest.
yeah.
I'm sure they have some sort of equivalent in other Christian religions because like
Yeah.
they have to carry
Yeah, we can
stuff for
only
the
speak about
priest and
Catholicism here. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
And you
sorry,
know what?
that's all we know. But
They're teenagers. They're always having an AirPod in.
oh yeah. Oh my
They're,
God. Yeah, I was an altar kid growing up. If we had Bluetooth headphones back then, you bet your
oh yeah.
ass all church. The Father Faye would have been calling on me like, Alexis, bring me
Go,
bring
go,
me the communion. And I'd
go.
just be like rocking out, like practice drumming something. Like shit.
It's not subtle at all. It's like on the communion wine cup, like for like the symbol.
Like on the altar itself, like not
Yeah,
subtle.
that wouldn't have lasted
Yeah, mom would have
long
been
for
pissed.
you.
Yeah.
Thank God we didn't have that, let's say.
Nope. Nope.
Wow.
But anyways, so
Incredible.
until next time.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for tuning in to Saturday Morning Mysteries.
If you enjoyed this episode, please share, rate, review, leave us a like, and drop a comment. We post episodes every Saturday and bonus tune tangents whenever we feel like it. So please subscribe so you don't miss the shenanigans.
And if you want to follow us on YouTube, click the bell under the YouTube subscribe button to receive notifications when new videos are posted.
And if you want to subscribe to the podcast, we have no idea what you're listening to us on, so just hit the big subscribe button on whatever app you're using. We believe in you.
Give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram at SatmornMist, all the abreves, and let us know if you have any episode or show requests by emailing SaturdayMorningMysteries@gmail.com.
Thanks to Jenna Kendall for the logo design and to Ava Sakiki for the music used during this week's episode.
See y'all groovy kids next week on Saturday Morning Mysteries.